the behaviorism theory proposed by Edward Tolman. Edward Chance Tolman was an American psychologist and a professor of psychology at the University of California, Berkeley. He is known for cognitive behaviorism, his research on cognitive maps, and the theory of latent learning involving the concept of intervening variables. Tolman's purposive behaviorism theory, wherein behavior implied performance, the achievement of an altered relationships between an organism and its environment, behavior was functional and pragmatic, behavior involves motivation and cognition, and behavior revealed its purpose. So on the other hand, it is the combined study of behavior while also considering the goal and purpose of that behavior.
Cognitive map.
Cognitive map is a mental picture or image of the layout of one physical environment. The term was first coined by a psychologist named Edward Tolman. Cognitive maps can help us navigate unfamiliar territory, give direction, and learn or recall information. An example of using a cognitive map could be a driver going home from work on learned path without a GPS. Cognitive maps represent stimuli from the physical environment, including a feature such as landmark, straight lines, and right-left direction. How does a cognitive map work? A cognitive map is often created and used without a conscious thought. This is a form of a latent learning when a human and animals are exposed to the same environment multiple times. They begin to create a mental picture based on the cues from the environment.
Latent learning.
Latent learning. Latent learning is a type of observational learning wherein the learner doesn't have to actively participate of obvious lesson for a learning to occur. Example of latent learning. Latent learning become the example of latent learning becoming our parents. A teenager observed his loving mother instructing him to clean his room. A few decades later, when he has a child of his own, he repeats those instructions to his child.
Intervening variables.
Learning is mediated or influenced by expectations, perceptions, representations, needs, and other internal or environmental variables. Examples in Tolman's experiments with rats, he found out that the hungers was an intervening variables. Examples of intervening variables: motivation, attitude, personality, task, knowledge, understanding, thinking, expectations, intelligence, and lastly, intention.
Tolman's maze experiment.
Tolman's rat experiment. Psychologist Edward C. Tolman studied the cognitive processes of rats. In these experiments, were placed in maze and their behavior was observed to understand how they learn to navigate the maze and find food. Tolman's findings suggested that rats developed cognitive maps of the maze, implying that they were using mental processes to navigate, rather than simply forming stimulus-response association. This challenged the prevailing behaviors views of the time and contributed to the development of cognitive psychology.
Reward expectancy.
Tolman's reward expectancy theory suggests that learning occurs when an organism expects a reward for a particular behavior. This expectation is formed through repeated experiences where the behavior is followed by a reward. Here's how it works. First, expectation. The organism develops an expectation that a specific action will lead to desired outcome. Second, motivation. This expectation motivates the organism to perform the behavior. The third is reinforcement. When the behavior is followed by the expected reward, the expectation is strengthened and the organism is more likely to repeat the behavior in the future.
Place learning. Versus response learning.
Edward Tolman's theory in 1948 distinguishes between two types of learning. First is place learning. This learning requires without immediate reinforcement. It involves learning the spatial layout and relationships between stimuli. It focuses on understanding the environment structures, and it involves cognitive process like attention, perception, and memory. Second is response learning. This learning requires reinforcement. It involves associating a specific response with a stimulus. It focuses on conditioning a particular behavior, and it involves associative processes like classical conditioning.
Vicarious trial and error.
So next, let's proceed to vicarious trial error. So in this part, it refers to the observation in animals, especially in humans, that mentally simulating actions and their potential consequences without actually performing them. So these cognitive processes includes three parts. So the first one, we have mental exploration, error detection, and the hypothetical trial. So in mental exploration, it is all about considering possible paths or solutions. Second one, the error detection. So in this part, it is all about the way of anticipating potential mistakes. Third one is the hypothetical trial. So it is where the mental testing solutions found. Then, in the experiment of Tolman, he presented the 5 results of his activity. The first one is rats navigated a complex maze with multiple paths. Second one is some rats were rewarded with food at the maze's ends. Third is others received no reward. So it means they are the groups that doesn't receive the reward, or known as the non-rewarded group. Then the fourth one is after several trials, the reward group showed improved navigation efficiency. Then the last one, which is the fifth results presented by Tolman, is it is the non-reward group that despite of lacking motivation, demonstration equivalent cognitive mapping arise.